Hey there, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Monster Super League. How is everybody doing today? Today, I wanted to go over the top Nat 4 Astromon that you guys should be focusing on building, mainly because I've been getting a lot of questions as to whether or not you guys should be using a lot of these monsters to rebirth for others. And also because I know a lot of you guys are essentially just coming back to the game and still looking to figure out, which monsters you guys should be focusing on. So I think that it's very important to also understand that behind my choice of these Astromon is going to be the total and overall use as to where you're going to be using them, how much you're going to be using them, and their overall ease of use and build. So I basically just gonna go ahead and get started here. But the best Astromon that I find right now to be pretty much usable absolutely everywhere is the Watercura. The Watercura is essentially a step up from the Wood Mini Cat. She comes with an attack down leader skill. I believe that it can go up to 35%. Yep, 35% attack down. She is also a tank type, which makes her ideally very, very good for survival. Her defense is a little bit on the lower end, but it is still very, very viable. You could build her on HP defense. And overall, I think that she is probably, since the change that occurred back in early May, she's definitely quickly become one of the top five most used Astromon in the game currently, and that still is true to today, which is October 11th of 2021. The change of skills for her are now expose weakness on the 3-star skill and an attack up on the 5-star skill. But with the addition and the change of the leader skill, she quickly kind of became one of the top five NAF 4s. The exposed weakness here is really, really great. You can pretty much use it absolutely everywhere. Colossus, Arena, Tower of Chaos, the Dimensional Rift Dungeon. Let's see where I'm at. Oh, CVC. You could also use it there. But pretty much Titans as well too. She is definitely one of your top Astromon now that you'll need for Titans next to the Woodhana. She provides that very, very great and amazing attack up leader skill, and it's for 3 turns. Or not leader skill, but active skill, I meant to say. But it's for 3 turns. So everybody should be basically building up at least one of her, whether you're going to be using it on Tower of Chaos, or if you're going to be using her in Colossus or in Titans. Definitely build at the very minimum one of her. The skill books are actually very, very good. The exposed weakness here can basically be 90% chance for 2 turns, and then the attack up essentially can go up to, actually, no, it stays up 3 turns. So. But yeah, you guys should definitely be focusing on building one of her. Very good debuffer for Colossus as well if you're going for the light Colossus and the dark Colossus every week. If you're a new player and you're not able to kill those Titans, or excuse me, those Colossus, the Water Cura is phenomenal for the exposed weakness and the defense down there. And then again, if you build her on maybe like something like HP defense, she'll be very, very tanky, and she'll be able to live, a solid 2 or 3 turns until she gets her heal up. And that's another thing too that you guys need to remember is that she is a healer. So aside from providing these great buffs and debuffs here, she is also really, really well and capable of healing up your entire team. For gems, you could basically put her on almost anything. I prefer protection set, mainly because it does boost her defense a little bit more. HP defense, and a protection set is very, very good because then she'll kind of balance herself out very, very well. But the leader skill, even though you need to pull a variant one to make her a leader to benefit from the leader skill, it is not necessary. You could use another leader skill with her, and until you pull a variant of her, but she's definitely used everywhere. So I definitely highly recommend everybody to build at least one of the curas, water curas. I myself have 4 of them, and I'm working on a 5th at the moment. The reason why is because of Titans. You could use her for the Fire Titan, you can use her for the Light Titan, and you can also use her as a leader for the Dark Titan. So that's 3 Titans that you can essentially use her for, which puts her right at the top of the list of most used Astromons currently in the game. So yeah, she's also not bad in the CBC and arenas. You could use her as a leader skill. Or excuse me, I've seen a couple of people use her actually in the challengers arena. And she's actually very good. That attack power, reduction it comes in handy. So don't, brush her off as just being a healer. So I'm not going to focus on building her because again, that exposed weakness is phenomenal when it comes down to just, one or two shotting the dark and the light colossus as well. It doesn't particularly work that well against the fire colossus, but if you build her on HP defense and a protection set, she'll be more than capable of surviving that 50% threshold nuke that the Colossus does onto you. And then if your nukers live, she can apply that exposed weakness again, and you can essentially just kill the Fire Colossus with just one or two more nukers. So really, really good monster to build. I definitely recommend everybody to build at the very minimum one of her. The next Astromon that I want to cover is going to be the Water Wild Thing. And the Water Wild Thing is still to this day at least top 10 in the arenas. She comes with basically double stun. It's a stun and then petrification. Petrification does kind of have a downside, meaning that any damage that you do to a petrified opponent, they'll have you know kind of like you're gonna hit them for less because they'll get increased defense. But her leader skill is very, very good. Decreases enemies' critical hit rate by 15 to 20%. So 20% if you get a variant level 6 is actually a lot when it comes to arenas. Because as you guys know, that's essentially minus 15% crit rate on your opponent. So you could put her as a defense. She's also a tank type, so she'll actually be very, very tanky. She can also be used in the Tower of Chaos, CBC, and I believe the Water Dungeon or the Water Tower of Chaos or whatever you want to call it, Water Tower. So she can be used there as well. Another reason why you guys should build her is that she can also be super evolutioned or super evolved. So her active skill and her stun here will be very, very good, and her active skill will become a lot easier to get off once you actually super evolve her. The stun here can be skill booked for an extra 10% and one more turn, so you can essentially be looking at I think it's like 90% chance for 2 turns, and then the petrification goes up for 3 turns, so or 2 turn petrification for 80%. So 2 turn stun for 90% and 2 turn petrification for 80%. So very good Astromon to build, and you guys essentially can use her to just farm up some free points every week. You put her on your defense team if you guys manage to build her properly. You could, if you find a what do you call it, a gem of life or healer, gem of the healer set, you'll recover like 10% HP every turn. She can be very, very tough to kill. Especially if you give her 85% resist or something close to that. Even like 50% is more than viable for arenas. If you're a newer player or a mid game player, she will be very, very good for you basically in arenas as free Astro Gems every single week. When I say free, I just mean you guys put her on your defense team, and then as other players attack you, you'll climb up that ladder, so then by the end of the week you'll get a pretty nice higher reward. And I'm probably shooting myself in the foot here by mentioning a lot of these Astromon, but the Water Wild thing is really, really good for the arenas, so definitely a broken monster still to this day, especially on a Gem of the Healer. So if you can, definitely make sure you guys build one. Let's see here. So now that that one is basically gem sets for the Water Wild Fang. Gem of the Healer is obviously the best one, but you could also use her in a protection set. Because she is a tank type, she's not going to need that much HP, but you could go something like HP defense, kind of the same as you would build the Watercura. But another way to build her is, of course, HP defense. And you could also use a Gem of Life set. So, very, very tanky, very, very built for survival, essentially. The skill books are actually not relatively difficult to get. They will take a little bit of time, but they're definitely going to be needed if you want to, put her to her max. use. So, but monster that's definitely used everywhere. I use mine every single week, especially Tower of Chaos as well every month. She can make it up to floor 120. You could use her as a leader as well, definitely works. But if you need a stunner and you can't get past some of those bosses that are just like, keep healing, keep healing, keep healing, she is excellent at stunning them and making sure that you're able to delay that turn so that you could use your nukers to bring the boss down. So I would say for sure, guys, if you have the means to build water or the wild things, make sure you build the water one first. She'll get used, the most out of all of your other Astromon for sure. All right, so the other Astromon that I'm going to cover is once again another water Astromon. It's going to be the Water Banshee. I think that she is highly, highly underrated. She can also be super evolutioned. Her skills also got changed a couple of months ago. To this day, I actually don't see a lot of people using her, but she is a tank type. So look at that HP, 40,000 HP, base HP. That's actually really high. And then another thing too that is also very high for a 4-star is the attack powers here. So she's got 2562. Most other Astromon will probably carry around 2100, 2200 or so attack power. But she's sitting at a nice 2562. So if you look at comparison to the Water Fenrir, she's got 2200, whereas the Water Morrigan here as a tank type has 2562. And her skills are actually phenomenal. She comes in with resistance down, 100% chance for 2 turns. You can basically picture her as a free water Xiao Wu Jing. You could use her in golems. You could also use her in the Tower of Chaos. You can also use her in CVC and in the arenas. Very, very, niche mon, I guess if you want to call her that, but she can give you some more extra points on the weekends during Challengers Arena or the regular arenas. The resistance down is very, very good also in Dragons. So if you're looking for a tough water Astromon to carry you through Dragons B10 or all the way up to Dragon's B15. Resistance down is still very, very good for those dragons. So definitely make sure you build her up. If you do get the stones to super evolve her, you will not regret it. She is still very, very good. The zap up here, 80% chance to inflict the enemy with 2 zaps for 1 turn, can be skill booked, and that will become 2 zaps for I believe it's 2 turns, 90% chance to zap, two zaps for 2 turns. So very usable, very good for golems and also for what do you call it? Tower of Chaos. She can also be used in Colossus as well. The Water Colossus, I believe it's the Wednesday boss. Or the Colossus can be tough, but if you have resistance down, it makes it really easy to clear that as well. I do have a guide just so you guys know on how to beat the Colossus with an auto team, full auto team. It's very, very easy. But yeah, so the Water Banshee for sure. Make sure that you guys build one of her. And then again, one more Astromon that is also water. And you guys will see a trend here, but this is not just which top 5 nat 4s are good to build that are water. No, this is like all around. The next one here is the Water Loki. He is for sure one of the best nukers, budget nukers that you can build right off the bat. He can be super evolutioned as well, so his stats are actually phenomenal. As an attacker type, his attack is 3357, so it's actually on the higher end, and his defense is actually not bad, especially for an attacker. 21 and 118, or yeah, 2118 is not bad at all. But also he comes in with 30,500 HP, so makes him pretty tanky. The leader skill doesn't really matter that much, but his 3-star skill is Hunter, so increases critical hit damage by 50%, and you can basically consider that as a Ruin gem set. So if you have another Ruin gem set that you can snap it on him, he'll be doing 90% chance to critical hits. So that'll be, or 90% chance bonus, 90% bonus damage to critical hits. So it'll be a very good monster to build for Colossus, very good monster to build for CBC, Arena as well. and what do you call it? The dimensional dungeon as well on whatever day it is that it's fire. Very, very good monster to build. The let's see, 5-star skill here is Predator, increases damage dealt by 40%. That's actually very, very strong considering it attacks everybody, and his attack animation is actually perfect. It's just the right amount of hits that if you crit 4 or 5, you'll actually get a cluster hit. So the damage multiplier is a little bit higher on him when he's super evolutioned. So he can hit pretty hard. Like every hit can basically hit for almost close to 12,000. And I believe the highest that he can crit is 26,000. So if he does 7 hits times 26, yeah, you're looking at around 150,000 damage per hit. So very good monster to build for sure. And if you pair her with the Watercura and Colossus, he can pretty much take out the Light Titan and the Dark Titan as well. If he doesn't kill it in one shot with exposed weakness, you can actually kill it in about 2 turns. So definitely make sure you build one of him, as he is very, very usable in there. Arenas as well, like I said, you can use him in arenas. So definitely make sure you build one of them. The other Astromon that I'm going to cover is going to be, of course, your famous and most annoying arena monster that you can get for a NAF war, and that is, of course, the Fire Victoria. Where the heck is she? There, did I pass her? Anyways, the Fire Victoria, here she is absolutely bonkers. If you put her on a pugilist set or a gem of the healer, she can be stupid annoying. The reason why is that just recently she also had her skills changed. She now has Fearless Taunt, so reduces damage received by 50% for 1 turn, and grants a 100% chance to draw enemy's attention for 1 turn. So basically, she'll taunt the enemy, so stops them from using their active skill, and then she'll also reduce damage done to her by 50%. So that's just like broken, absolutely broken. And Fearless Taunt, she'll basically almost never target the same Astromon, so she could get like 3 or 4 different monsters hitting her during that taunt. The max that you can actually do is not 3, sorry about that, guys, it's 2. So she can have up to 2 different Astromon hitting her with that 50% reduction in damage. The skill books can basically be increased so that she'll have Fearless Taunt for an extra turn. So again, if that's the reason why she'll be able to get 3. So if she targets 3 different Astromon during those 3 turns, she'll basically still be taking 0 damage whatsoever. The 5-star skill is Petrification, which does have a downside, but it's still very, very usable. You could pair her with somebody like the Wood Banshee, who does defense down. You could also pair her with somebody like the Wood Loki, who is a defense aggressor. Loki, I guess I could put those two as honorable mentions. But I'll talk about those here in a second. But really quickly, too, guys, you can also use the Fire Nike in the Tower of Chaos for the level 120. She is actually very, very good against the Dark Gilgamesh, especially with the Water Shawujings there, because they have that resistance down. And because she has Fearless Taunt, she'll actually only take half of the damage that they normally would deal. They are water, but again, because she does have that Fearless Taunt, she won't be hit as hard. Gem builds for her, I would actually try to build her way, way, way more tanky than she is now. She's already a defender, so she has pretty high defense, but I would probably still go with something like HP defense. If you're going against a monster, though, or against an enemy that has defense down, I would build her HP defense, just to make sure that she can survive the hit. As if she loses all her defense, she'll just be getting hit like a truck. So, but yeah, Fire Victoria for sure, another Astromon that you guys should build. And that's pretty much it for the top 5. Honorable mentions, I guess I could probably put those on here. The Fire Cupid, he is a healer type though, but he will be used in Titans. You can use him now in the Fire Titan and the Light Titan, or not the Fire Titan, excuse me, in the Wood Titan on the back lane, on the Light Titan, and on the Dark Titan. So if you guys don't have a reliable attack down, or if you don't have your Hana fully booked, you could put the Hana next to the arrows here or the fire cupid, and you'll have attack down from both of them, and then defense up from the Hana, and an attack up from him as well. So very good monsters to put side by side together in the back lane of any of those Titans. So definitely a really good honorable mention to him. Then the other two that I previously mentioned, the Wood Loki, he has actually been changed. He was changed again back in, I think it was end of June during the last maintenance, and he now has a 100% chance to restore 40% of own SP when attacking, and then he has a defense aggressor, and he is also a defense type Astromon, and he has really high defense. He has 34, yeah, almost 3,400 defense. The fact that he can be super evolved, that's an extra 6% bonus to his stats. So if you have him on a HP defense, or even if you do defense crit rate, he can be a very good monster to use to actually clear a lot of the water story mode. Very quick attack as well. So if you need a monster that can clear some of the story fairly quickly, the Wood Loki is actually very viable. The skills here, they can be skill books, so he could have 50% chance to morale boost, and then of course an extra 25% damage to the defense aggression. So very good monster, definitely underrated as well. His leader skill is also a defense type, so he would benefit very greatly from the variant skill first. So if you have a variant and you pull one of him and you're building the Wood Loki for your story mode, he is top notch, because he'll be able to tank almost anything, and he'll be dishing out a ton of damage. I actually use mine on Ruin set, defense. And as you guys will come and find out, that you'll run into a lot of Ruin gem sets that are actually defense. So it is one of the easier monsters to build when it comes to making sure that you guys have a decent damage output. But outside of the story mode, though, he doesn't have that many uses. He is very good in arenas, but that's about it. So that's the reason why I wouldn't place him top notch. So he's mainly just an honorable mention. Another one that falls in that same category is going to be the Wood Banshee. She can also be super evoed, so she can get her active really quickly. Her active is just defense down, and the morale boost is only 30% though. So if you compare her to the Wood Loki, the Wood Loki is a little bit better. But that defense down is very good. So if you have a chance to build one, go ahead and do so. The active skill here for the defense down can be 80% chance for 2 turns. And then the passive skill effectiveness, if you finally get some skill books for her, she can also be a 50% chance to recover her own SP. So definitely make sure to build one of her as well. And then of course the last honorable mention is of course the Wood Hannah. I don't know how much more I can emphasize how many of her you guys will need for Titans, but I myself literally have like 8 of her right now, or 9 of her right now, or something like that. I can't even count how many Wood Hanas I have, but basically used in every single Titan. Very good. The only one that I think that she's not really usable in, let's see how many I have. 8. So I actually have 10. I don't know if all of these are actually fully skill booked though. There's still a couple that haven't finished skill booking, but you will need to skill book them to get the passive skill for the attack down to go up to, I think it's 80% chance for 2 turns. Yep. So definitely get working on those Hanas, guys. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I will be covering the top 5 rebirth Astromon, the top 5 Nat 4 rebirths, just so that I know that, or just because I know that there's a lot of people out there that have been asking me like, hey Odin, like, which Astromon should I actually be rebirthing for, and which ones are actually usable, and which ones are absolute trash fodder. So I'll be covering some of those on the next video. So be on the lookout for that. But if you are new, make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel. Leave a like and a comment if you're new. And then of course, if you guys have any suggestions for videos that you guys would like to see in the future, make sure you comment that in the section down below as well. Feel free to reach out to us on the Discord. I will leave a link to the Discord on the chat. But if you have any questions or if you need any help with anything, make sure they reach out to us in the community. Everybody is always very friendly and helpful, and we strive to be somewhat very kind to a lot of people that are brand new to the game as well. We are starting to, at least see some progress from the development team, and the future of MSL does look very, very good. I think the game will definitely be running for at least another 5 more years, so I can't wait till we have that 10-year anniversary. And I hope that all of you guys manage to get some very nice light and dark monsters in an upcoming months. But yeah, guys, so that's it for this video. Feel free to leave a like I said, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Take it easy, guys. Good luck.